Okay, today we're going to talk about buyer leads and referrals and really how to kind of work with these people and convert them from someone that you're given by another agent, by a lead source, wherever they come from, into someone that's going to be a customer, right? A customer is someone that you're actively working with and is responding to you and you're kind of building that relationship with. So we're just going to take it from, basically the intro point where, we're having the initial conversation or the initial client come in, what to do, and the exact steps to follow here. So again, why work with buyer leads, right? This really is the market for working with buyers generally, right? Interest rates are at historic lows. People are reconsidering their living situation still, upsizing, downsizing, moving back to the city, moving out of the city, looking for outdoor space. And again, we are seeing movement in all neighborhoods at all price points, especially if we look at year-over-year numbers. Again, Urban Digs is a great place to look for any of the market data that you might need. So the first thing that you want to do is always pick up the phone, right? Whenever you're given a lead, the most important thing that you can do is get on the phone with that person. Sorry, guys, I'm going to pause it for 1 second. So the most important thing to do is really connect with the people. And my thought is that the only way to connect with someone, especially when they're looking at something as important or as expensive as a home purchase, is to get them on the phone, right? That's always wants to be your first connect, right? Try to get them on the phone. Again, you can't make money if you're not doing anything. No relationships can be built over text and email. And make sure that when you do pick up the phone to be extremely friendly, right? If you're taking a lead, and again, we'll get to all the different sources at the end, but if you're taking a lead from a couple of these sources, they'll actually call you directly, right? OpCity is going to connect you on the phone with them. The lead network is usually going to connect you on the phone with them. And so thanks so much for calling. My name is Jason with Weicker Properties. I'm excited to help you with your home search. What are you looking for, right? They might be looking at a certain property already. Great property. When do you want to see it? Again, sometimes it's a Rocket Homes lead, right? And with Rocket Homes, the people have been approved by Rocket, right? Sometimes it's conditionally approved, sometimes it's fully approved. And so this is the script I want you to use when you're talking to someone. Hey, Carl, this is Jason with Weicker Properties. Congratulations on your approval with Rocket Homes. I'm here to turn that approval into your next home, right? Easy way to just start the conversation and get them talking. And again, getting them on the phone is the first try that we always want to make, right? So if you're given a lead from whatever source and they're not on the phone with you, pick up the phone and call them immediately, right? You want to call them right away, right when you get that lead source. So what happens if they don't answer, right? And a lot of times that's going to happen. Someone's not going to answer the phone right away, right? So what I do is I immediately follow up the call with a text and an email, right? We want to try so they know who's calling. Again, many people who aren't in the real estate business screen their calls. They don't know who's calling them, might be from a different area code and stuff like that. And so it's really important to let them know who you are. And so again, this is the exact text. Hey, this is Jason with Weicker Properties in New York. I want to touch base and set up a time to speak to you about your either approval with Rocket Homes or with your home search. Is there a good time for you this afternoon at 2 or tomorrow at 12? Again, give times that could work for you, right? Do the exact same thing in an email. Hey, it's Jason with Weicker Properties. Just wanted to touch base and set up a time to speak with you about your Rocket Homes approval or about your home search, and let them know I'm going to also be sending you over a couple listings right now, right? So what if they don't answer that phone call, that text, or that email? What are we going to do? Every other day for the next week, right? So for the next 7 days, so 3 times over the next 7 days, besides that first day, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to call, try a different time. We're going to text after that call, and we're going to email, right? And the reason for this is not to be pushy. It's to be persistent and make sure that you're getting through to them, right? Maybe they're busy, maybe there's something going on, but every other day, you're going to hit them 3 times until you finally get through to them, right? If they say, you know what, I'm not interested, not a problem. Hey, best of luck. Thanks so much for your time, and send them back, right? Again, a lot of this is just making sure that you are taking advantage of all the resources that we have, right? Because they've reached out to us, you can call, text, and email them, no problem whatsoever. What if they don't know they're approved, right? And a lot of times that happens, especially with the Rocket Homes ones. Oh, I didn't even know it's approved, right? What you can do is you can tell them that they have a Rocket counselor. And when you get the Rocket Homes lead, there's going to be a second name below the lead saying who their counselor is. Hey, you can follow up with Seth, confirm your pre-approval, but it's great news because you're almost there. If they're not coming through Rocket and they're not coming through one of the other lead sources like OpCity, where we can't give them a mortgage broker, and during the conversation they're not approved, what you can say is, hey, Doug Clear, our amazing mortgage specialist with White Financial, will be giving you a call. His number is 914-309-1483. So put it in your phone and let me know a good time for him to give you a call, right? Great. He can call me tonight at 4. Awesome, right? Then send the information to Doug and confirm after the appointment that they spoke to Doug. And what I do is I always send an email to Doug and the client introducing them and saying, hey, Doug's going to call you tomorrow at 3, like you mentioned. Here's his number so you have it in your phone, right? All of these points of contact are showing you that you're doing a service for these people, right? You're getting them from just maybe looking at something to being in a point where they can actually buy a home. So the next thing that you have to do with any lead source that you get is set them up in MyWiker, right? If you want, you can put them into the MLS or to OLR. And again, if your MyWiker is set up, which it should be at this point for everyone who's taking leads, you must add the lead into MyWiker and add a search alert for them, right? This is an important step. You're going to go into MyWiker, you're going to put the client in. If they're coming from Weichert Lead Network or Weichert Rental Network, most often they're going to be put in automatically, right? So you can just add the search alert to the person. Again, if they're coming from OpCity, if they're coming from StreetEasy, if they're coming from a different lead source, you have to add them in manually into MyWiker and then add a search alert based on what they're looking for, right? Again, Rocket Homes and Lead Network will give you a property, so it's usually something similar or a price point. Do a search, plus or minus $100,000 from that. If no type is given, just do a general search, right? If they say they're looking for a condo, co-op, or single family, add all those searches in. Have the listings send them stuff as they become available, right? That means that you're going to be the first one, and the system is automatically going to send them listings as they become available. You're also going to see in the system if they've opened up the email and if they're interacting with that system. So it's really, really helpful. Again, Weichert Lead Network will automatically create the client, so you can edit the search alert. You can edit the criteria based on what they have in there, right? So first step is to call them, get them on the phone, talk to them, connect with them. Second step, and again, even if you don't, you send texts and emails and set them up in MyWiker, right? So we're going to reach out to contact them, hopefully get in touch. If we don't, we're going to set them up in the portal. If we do, we're going to set them up in the portal of MyWiker so that we can be constantly sending them listings and things like that. Again, make the appointment, right? If it's a listing that's coming through Lead Network that they want to see, it's a great apartment building. When would you like to see it? If they want to see it that day, say, hey, usually we need notice. How about tomorrow at 3 or Saturday at 6, right? Use times that work for you. Don't worry if the apartment or the property can be shown, right? If they say, hey, I want to go out on Saturday, great, I'm going to set up some appointments for us. What you want to do is take the time to get off the phone, do research for any listing that they actually are calling on, confirm when it can be shown, and then call them back. Get off the phone, right? You're going to confirm the appointment with the seller's agent. Call the seller's agent if it's a specific property, confirm the details, terms, co-op, if it's not an OLR, or the MLS, confirm that they co-broke, what they're offering to Weichert in writing, right? You want that in an email. If they ask about the client, you can always say, hey, it was a referral from my company. I'll get you all the documentation shortly. Again, confirm with the buyer when they're looking to go out, the date and time of the showing, and find out if they can talk to you afterwards to discuss their search, the process. If not, see when they can sit down before the next appointment, over Zoom, on the phone, whatever it is, right? But what we want to do is, oops, sorry, that was already in there. We want to get to the point where we're actually meeting them in person, right? When we're at the meeting, we want to be friendly, ask questions, and build rapport, right? We want to confirm their pre-approval at the meeting, right? Maybe we already talked about it on the phone, but you want to confirm it. And again, you can give their contact information to Doug. If it's not coming from Rocket or OpCity, you can definitely do that. Do the buyer consultation, right? In the apartment, for coffee after, whatever it is. And at that meeting, you always want to make the next appointment, right? After you see them in person, you want to say, hey, when can you go out next? Maybe there's nothing on the market, but at least putting it in their mind that you're going to meet with them and you're going to be meeting again helps solidify that relationship, right? And follow up the next day. Hey, what did you think of the property, right? We have examples of people who went out, saw a property, they put in an offer the next day, right? It can happen quickly. Again, the buyer consultation, and today is not to go over the exact kind of everything that goes into the buyer consultation, but you want to do the buyer consultation, and you must do the buyer consultation within the first 5 days of getting the lead, right? It is your expectation from from the point where you made contact with them and actually reached out to them to 5 days later, so within a week basically, that you will have done the buyer consultation, right? And the way that we know that you did this is if you get the fair housing and agency disclosure form signed within the first 5 days, right? This is mandatory. You need to get this signed before you put in an offer. You need to get this signed at substantive contact, right? That's the most important thing. And so again, use DocuSign to have these signed, but what you can do is you can say, hey, these are required for showings, right? And get them signed by them. You know, the most important thing that we can do is really sell our value as a buyer's agent, right? Many times these lead sources are clicking on every website, they're running around. When we do the buyer consultation, it helps tell them the process of buying a home, what's going on in the market, and also the value of working with you, right? Why should they not be just running around and going to open houses? Why should they not just be clicking on every website, right? And the two things that we help people do is we save them time and money, all at no additional cost to them, right? We save them time by doing the legwork and vetting properties, by setting up appointments, by having the team of people, right? The attorney, the mortgage, the insurance, the contractors, the movers, by going through the board approval process and knowing what a board package is and what we need to do for that for condos and co-ops, right? By saving them money, right? By helping with comps, databases, by negotiating for them because the seller's agent works for the seller, and helping connect them to services which can help them through this whole process. So again, the next thing you're gonna do is keep sending them listings. I always say 5 or 6 max per email. If you have the auto feed set up, it will also send it to them as they become available. So usually it's a couple of days, so that's not a problem at all. And always give them an option of why you sent them the listing if you can. Again, the ones that are outside of the auto feed, you mentioned you like to cook. This one has a great kitchen. Again, you wanna follow up every day, no matter what's going on, right? Again, persistence and consistent communication are so key. Send them new options and why you like them. Tell them nothing new, but I've been looking, right? Have you seen anything online? When are you able to go out next? And again, the most important thing here is that these things can take time, right? You can talk to one of our agents. He took a Op City lead. He took them out. They saw one apartment. They put in an offer. They bought it. Boom, that was it, right? Other people work for months, right? I'm currently working with a buyer right now that came to me from a mortgage broker that I've worked with in the past. And we've been working since December, right? We're going on 9 months at this point. So again, they can take time. 4 to 6 months is kind of the average search process. Some people find something quickly, right? I've given out referrals to people who they go see 7 homes and they buy something. But again, you have to be in this for the long haul and be a resource for them. Always show your value, right? With helping save them time and money. I'm paid by the closer at the seller at closing, but your fiduciary responsibility is to them. And you have a team of people to get them through this whole process. So again, you know, one of the questions I think it's important to think about is why work with referrals, right? And again, referrals kind of implicitly have a referral fee due, right? And the splits aren't going to be as good as if you were to create that lead yourself and just get your split on it, right? So again, buyer leads are the easiest way to supplement your own network of buyers. These tend to be warm leads who are looking to make a move in the near term. The only skills that you really need are the ability to connect with people and the knowledge of the sale process, right? Which you guys should all have at this point. And these leads come into you, so it's saving you time on prospecting, right? And again, because of that, there is a trade-off, right? There are referral lead split downs, and we have a ton of different sources of referral leads. But I just want to go over this with you and how to kind of reflect these on the deal sheets that you're working with, right? So if it comes in from the Weichert Lead Network, the Weichert Rental Network, or relocation, it's a 37.5% referral to those places. And then it's a flat 50-50 split after that, right? If it's coming in from Realtor.com or StreetEasy, it's a 35% referral to Realtor.com or StreetEasy. And then it's 50-50 split at your split, right? So it's a little bit less. Op City leads are a 35% referral, and then you get the remaining 65% at your split. Relocation rentals, which again, after you've been in the business and done a number of transactions at over 2 years, you can sign up to potentially be on relocation. It's a 15% referral, and then you get 85% at your split. And inter or intra-office referrals are a negotiated referral percentage. Most of the time that's 25%, and then it's at your split. And again, anytime you're taking these leads, and all of these leads are considered company leads, you must do a buyer consultation within the first 5 days, right? For any of these buyers that you're working with. I just want to go over this because it's a little confusing, and I have changed the deal sheet for in the Google Drive, so please use this one going forward. So the first portion up here is the deal commission rate, right? So let's say you're doing a co-broke with a brand X firm, and the total commission is 6%, right? 6% would go here, 3% going into the listing agent, being the other agent, and 3% would go to Weicker, right? So on this sheet, you would put 6%, 3, 3. The next and the bottom portion here is looking at the money that comes into Weicker, how that money is being split, right? So let's say that you are representing only the buyer, right? So in this case, I put my name here as Jason as the buyer's agent, right? And if this lead came to me from Street Easy, then what I would do is I would put in referring brokerage, Street Easy, amount of referral, 35%, and then the number going after here would be 65%, right? Because the numbers in these two boxes plus this box should add up to 100, right? If it was a Weicker lead network lead, I would do the same thing, but I'd put 37.5% here, Weicker lead network, and then the remaining 62.5% would go in here, right? So I'd write 62.5%, boom. So that's not, again, we're not putting 100% here, whatever it is, because we have to have these two plus this add up to 100, right? And sometimes people ask, what are flat fees? Let's say someone helped you with a showing or two and you want to pay them off the deal. You can put in an amount for the flat fee there. So if you're paying someone $100, but you're getting the whole commission, they'll get paid that way. Just a couple of reminders about anytime we're using or talking about leads and things like that, right? And I think these are two important ones. The disclosure and fair housing form going forward must be signed via DocuSign or wet signature, right? And wet means is they actually physically write it out with a pen or pencil or marker or whatever it is, right? We're no longer accepting forms that are signed by being typed into, right? It's because we need to be able to verify the signatures on these. So again, you all have DocuSign accounts that are full suites. You can put the disclosures in there, you email it over, they sign on DocuSign, boom, you're good to go, right? And again, we'll know it's on DocuSign because it has the package in there. This is true for sales, for rentals, anytime moving forward. Again, and I'm going to be announcing this at the next meeting, but I just want to bring it up now. And the other thing is, these leads that you're working with, right? Let's say you get a buyer lead from Rocket Homes and looking for a $600,000, one bedroom in Long Island City. These are really awesome if there's nothing on the market to use for the reasons to send a mass email, right? My buyer, John Smith, is looking to purchase a home in your area, and there's nothing on the market fitting his criteria. I'm reaching out to see if you're anyone interested in selling, right? Don't put in the price point. Don't put in what they're looking for. This is a great way to reach out to a group of people, right? Pull in all the Long Island City zip codes, send this out. Maybe you get someone off here. And again, I always recommend putting in here, if you're looking to purchase a home, you can check out my website, put your website in there and check out everything on the market now. Thanks so much for your time, Jason Bauer, Properties, right? So hopefully you get a listing for John Smith, right? But if you don't, then maybe you're getting someone else who's looking to sell their property. And if you don't get that, then maybe you're even getting a buyer off of this, right? And by sending them to your website, it's going to kind of keep track of what's going on, what they're doing if people are clicking through on your website. So that's basically it from me. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to stop the recording. Oh no, was I not recording?
No, it says recording on the side.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me stop this.
It's still flashing.